This is Russ. Yeah, I'm back out on the road again. Yeah, where am I going? Well, we're gonna cut through here. Too many cars in the way first. I was gonna go over to the right, but they're all coming down, so oh well. We're just gonna cut across this way. Keeping our eye on traffic, making sure that nobody else is doing anything we don't want to do. Okay, let's follow this black Aldi. No, let's not follow the black Aldi. He's doing stuff like me. He's cutting across. We're going this way. So where are we headed? Yeah, time to check the mail again. Time to check the mail. Hey, there's no mail. I already know it. But you gotta make your presence known. Make them feel like you're actually doing something, and that you're checking up on them, making sure they're doing their job, putting the mail in there. No mail, I'm telling you right now. I'm not expecting anything. That mailbox is really only for when I'm expecting other products and the like coming in for anything goes Monday. But there's no products. Still, that doesn't mean we shouldn't go. I'm still gonna go just to let them know I'm checking up on it. So what am I riding right now? I am riding the Magicycle Deer 26. Yeah, the green bike. Last time I took this bike out, we were rained on. Yeah, we did the Botanic Garden ride. Rained on me there, rained on me back. I did wipe it all down, by the way. I have other things to show you too, but let's get this run out of the way first. And we're gonna leave the bike outside, but I'm gonna chain up the front wheel so that you can't roll the bike out. So sit tight with me as I do this. Let's get off of here. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Okay, we'll have to go back out on Thursday. That's I'm gonna just place the order. Okay. Well, we gotta go. That's why I owe you 105, right? Okay, this is Tuesday. And this says July 22nd. Estimate. Yeah. All of these are estimated. They always are. Oh. I had to go to Macy's. That's where I was when I didn't answer. Oh, Macy's stuff picking up that scared me. I know.
A little bit of an alarm there.
Are you a policeman?
No, used to be.
Used to be.
Well, used to be in law enforcement. I was an evidence tech way back when, but not currently.
Have a great day.
Yeah. You grab it and I'll be back on Saturday. I'm sorry, I can't believe so how many apartments did you remember? What? Oh, yeah. Over by Armstrong Drive. You know where I used to live? On the other side, further in. And it's just it's so small. You know, it's built in the 80s. You know, the 80s. I would say it's built in the 80s. I mean, simple design. Yeah. Sound big, spacious.
Okay, we are done. Oops, this guy's pulling in, so let's go this way. The car wasn't pulling in initially, and ultimately the car did not pull in anyway. All right, we're back out on the road again. Yeah, the lady asked me if I was a policeman. A lot of times I just say yes, or in the past. It's just too hard to explain everything. Told them I was an evidence tech, but they didn't know what that is probably. Well, maybe they do. I have no idea. All right, we are done with that. Where should we head? Where should we head? So going inside, making my presence known, so that he knows that I go and I check it every now and then. That's kind of important. But like I said, I knew that there was nothing going to be there. There shouldn't be. So overall, this is my second time out today. What time is it right now? 13:31, so 1:31 p.m. I went out earlier today. But I decided, you know, it's only about 79, 80 degrees out right now. Why don't we just go again? I didn't have anything else to do. Might as well go out, right? It's not so bad right now. I mean, when you consider weather had been in the upper 90s not that long ago, 79 or 80 degrees isn't so bad, right? Did notice that we did have a little bit of wind. Whenever that happens, we hear a little bit of wind noise, of course, against the mic while we're riding. Now, of course, as we just stand here, there's really nothing. So, yeah, this is a very long light to cross through. A lot of times we take a right and we just head to the forest preserves, but I don't want to do the forest preserves today. Usually if I'm on the big bike, I'm on one of those paths, yeah, if somebody's going to say something, it's not worth it. Rather be on the street. So let's go back through the shopping center area here. Take the shortcut and get out of here. Okay, so a couple things to tell you guys too concerning the deer. Now, you guys remember this thing was squeaking at one time. Yeah, it turned out to be not the springs on the suspension, the rear suspension. It was actually the hinge point that hinges the bike together. Yeah, if you take the spring off, you can fold this bike. Well, you can't fold it, but you can bend this bike kind of like in half, because it's the spring that holds it together. And so when you take it off, it's the hinge point that holds the rear part to the bike. That was the thing that was squeaking. So spraying a little bit of that garage door spray is what helped it. Now, you noticed before too, although now we hear the chain rattling around in the back, you know, the thing I was using to lock the bike's front tire up. But we used to hear another noise that, well, here, let me pull off. Let me show you what I did. I'll just pull off over in this area. Okay. Here's what used to happen. The fenders used to hit whenever I hit a bump. So what I did is I did a couple of things to it. I don't know if you could see, but right here I put a zip tie here and a zip tie over here, which holds the fender up, so it can't go any lower than wherever the zip tie have limiting it to. Can you guys see this? You know. Then I put a couple of pieces of paper right here and right here. What that is just between the I guess the metal part here and the fender. I don't know whether it's this hitting the fender or whether it's the bouncing of the fender. So both things together now lock it in place. Let me get back on here. Yeah, when I get back on, I tilt the bike so I can swing my leg over and usually hold the rear brake with my right hand so the bike can't slide forward while I'm doing this maneuver. That's how I get on the bike. It's a very, very tall bike when I have the seat post rather high to give myself some decent extension for my pedaling, right? So that's what I got to do in order to get on and off the bike. This is why a step through is a lot easier for a lot of people. But this one happens to be the step over version of the bike. You can get a step through version of this bike, which is also very popular. But I was one of the first guys to get one of these Deers, and this is what they sent me. Yeah, actually, when this bike first came in, it was last year's winter time, just before January of last year. So I've had it over, how long has it been? A year and a half now, something like that. Yeah, when it first came in, I opened up the package and I saw this green color. I go, oh man, what did they send me? I mean, I was so used to having white bikes, black bikes, gray bikes, kind of muted colors, right? So this was the first bike I had that had some major color to it, and I remember saying to Magicycle, I said, why are you sending me this color? I'm an older guy. I don't think this color would go well for guys our age. No, it goes pretty good. Everyone starts buying all these different colors now. Yeah, so it took a while for me to get used to it. Now I kind of like it. Yeah, so now I'm asking for bikes with different colors, just for some variety. Yeah, we've had blue bikes, we've had yellow bikes, we've had green bikes, we've had maroon colored bikes. Yeah, a little of everything now. So the Deer 26, yeah, it's one of the bigger bikes. It's got a lot of power to it. It's got a lot of torque to it. So I took it out for that Botanic Garden ride because first off, I wanted to make sure I can do it with this bike because, as I mentioned before, I didn't think I was going to make it there and back because I was throttling so much on the previous attempt the year before. Then I got a flat. Remember that? So I said, yeah, we got to take this out again. We got to make sure it actually makes it there, and it did. Of course, it took me 3 batteries. I could have done it in 2 batteries. Yeah. If I would have rode back at 15 miles an hour the same way as I did when I was riding there and just using a little bit of speed to get through Central, the road, I could have made it. But it was raining on me, right? It was raining on me there and it was raining on me back. I was cold and wet. I said, I got to get home. I'm not gonna go slow. I got to get out of here. And I figured I had 2 batteries with me. Let's just open it up and go faster. So yeah, I went back relatively fast, doing 20 plus miles an hour in a lot of spots just to get out of the rain and get back home. So yeah, I ended up having to change the battery out for that 3rd battery. But here's what I noticed doing the 3 batteries, putting it on that toolbox. Yeah, couldn't come up with the word. Here's what I noticed. Yeah, it's really heavy, right? But it wasn't as heavy as I was the year before. I mean, I had lost enough weight that even with the 2 batteries in the box, it was still less than I weighed by myself. And then that previous year, it was my weight, which was at that time probably around 268. It was my weight plus the weight of the battery, plus the weight of plus the weight of the extra battery, I should say. Okay, so let's guesstimate the battery being around 13 pounds. I don't know what it is. It's probably around that range. Let's take a left over here. So that would have put us at, what would it be, 270, 280, 281, something like that. So figuring with my weight, my current weight, and those batteries and the box, we would probably been under that weight. It was actually less weight riding this time with all the extra batteries than it was last time. So yeah, so we made it there. We made it back. Want a couch? That's how people usually put their stuff out, hoping that sometimes the scavenger guys will come by and they will pick it up. Yeah, happens a lot. You either do that or you pay to have the garbage being picked up for something that large. You'll have to pay extra, like $20 for them to come pick it up. But if you put it out like the day before the pickup normally would happen, scavenger guys know that, and they come and they pick things up. I mean, we put stuff out as well. We put a what did we put out there? We put a portable air conditioner out there. That was gone. We put what else did we put out there? We put something else out there, and that was gone real fast too. So I think sometimes people pick it up for scrap metal. Sometimes they try to fix it and then they use it or sell it, right? So yeah, it's not that bad right now. Humidity was around 45-50%, I think, something like that. So it's not humid. We've got a breeze hitting us. It's a warmer breeze, but not real bad. Yeah, so it's not too bad right now. Tomorrow will also be around the 80-degree weather, so I'll probably try to get out tomorrow as well. Try to get out as much as I can. Now, I used to do a video every single day. Remember that? Yeah, I did. And then we went to almost like every other day, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, with the occasional Monday video for Anything Goes Monday. Because during the winter months, you can't get out and ride, so you have to talk mostly. But then when this year came around again, I asked myself, should I be going back to the everyday video? And I decided not to. Because I kind of figured weather might be tough, and it was a good call on that, by the way. Weather might be tough. I may not be able to get out every single day to be able to get a video out every day. I mean, if I promise people I have a video out on all those days and then you go and look for it and it's not there, that doesn't look good. So I figured, I'll do the every other day thing, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Of course, I don't usually do Sunday, and I don't like riding on Saturdays a lot of times. When I say Saturday, the video comes out, I record it at least the day before, right? So, let's get past here. So I figured we'll do the every other day thing, and then if I have time, I throw an extra bonus video every now and then. I typically do like a Friday time would be a bonus video, but sometimes it could be any other day. Depends on how I feel like it. Let's turn here. So it's freed me up a little bit, so I don't have to feel like I'm forced to have to make a video out every single day, even when the weather is terrible. And the weather has been pretty much tough this year with the heat. I mean, it's not just me. I mean, the whole country, it's been hot. I mean, look at those guys out in Vegas and out in the deserts and stuff. It's really bad. It's really bad. So I think the every other day thing was a good move. But keep your eyes open. You never know. If you see one from me every now and then, watch those extra bonus ones, if and when I can. Otherwise, what I do is I'm recording these things way in advance of you guys because of it. When I'm able to go out, I'll still do the Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday thing, and that pushes it out. So I feel good about that because I don't feel pressured as much as I did in the past couple years. So I will say this, I know I don't ride as much as I did in those first couple years of the videos, which I feel bad about, but as we get on more and more in age and things and other things come up to do, let's turn here. It's just something I have to deal with, but at least we can do Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. All right, we're just kind of going around in the neighborhoods here, just to see what people are up to, what's going on. People always ask me whether I'm a police. Did you know that? Well, we heard those ladies. I don't know whether I'll show them or not, but in case I cut it out before you get to see the video, these two ladies were in front of the UPS store, and then they asked me if I was a police officer, and I just said yes, and then I just said, yeah, I used to be. And then I tried to clarify it. It's too hard. Sometimes I'll just say, yeah, I used to be. It's easier that way. You don't have to explain it as much. But I feel like I didn't say the correct thing if I say that. So then I try to clarify it and it sounds worse. No, they all think I'm a cop because I've got a helmet that has a light on it. I've got a yellow vest on. I've got a big green bike, or any other bike that I have. It's got an alarm on it. Yeah, so they always think you're a cop. No, I'm not a cop. Never was one. Okay, I work with the cops. Oh, here's a story for you guys. Since we're talking about police cop stories. I remember once, and I have a video, I talk about my refrigerator man case. Yeah, you want to see that case? Yeah, just go into YouTube, type in Russ's right refrigerator man or something like that. You'll see me talk about the refrigerator man case. It was actually my second homicide I went out to. And we had collected crime scene evidence. I didn't actually go to the scene, I just went to the autopsy. Look up that case and you'll understand why this is going to be an interesting story. But anyway, yeah, so we collected the stuff, and this guy was decomposed, and we usually collect the clothing and everything off the body when we come back from the autopsy. Then we usually will bring it back to the crime lab, for potential analysis later. But again, this guy was so decomposed that he was dripping in body fluids. Doesn't smell good, guys. I'll tell you that right now. It smells really bad. I almost tossed my cookies. Tossed my cookies. Who made up that phrase? I always come up with these phrases. Where'd that come from? I almost tossed my cookies. So anyway, so we had this. We had his clothing. We put it inside the bag, and we're bringing it to the police department. And we have to get up to the roof of the San Diego Police Department. We have an area where we air dry that kind of stuff. It's an open air thing up on the roof of the building. Okay. Can you imagine being down below, downwind? You'd smell all this. It's terrible. So we're going up the elevator, me and the other evidence technician who was training me at the time. And of course, other people in the police department are trying to get up the elevator too, because we only have a certain quantity of elevators. So we don't have a dedicated elevator that goes to the roof. You got to use the regular elevator. So they're trying to get into the elevator, and the two of us are saying, "You don't want this elevator." And they'll walk in, the other police department people, and they'll go, "Oh man!" And they'll turn around and come right back out. And the two of us are laughing. Of course, we're stuck in there smelling it. But yeah, it stunk so bad, and a lot of them know what that smell is because they probably smelled it before. On other times, they brought evidence up the elevator. It doesn't happen that often, but it does happen, right? Decomposed body, you gotta bring that stuff back. So yeah, it's the hazards of the job. Yeah, I have fond memories of my time at the police departments. Yeah, I remember once I was at the Chula Vista Police Department. I worked there as well. Smaller department than San Diego PD, but very good department though. I really enjoyed my time being there, and I really enjoyed the people there. A lot of good friends. So one time we go out and we're investigating a suspicious death. Okay, I'm telling you all these stories. I don't know if I ever told this one, but so we were there, and there was a van that was in the water, and we're talking the Pacific Ocean. Okay, it's a boat launch area. You know how those things are, to kind of like ramped down, so you could ramp down your boat and launch your boat, right? And so there's this van in there, it's under the water, and of course there's a body in there. So we we had to get the van out. So they call a tow truck. They hook up the van and they try to drag it back out. And it's partially submerged and not fully submerged, right? But enough, you can't push it out. You got to have it dragged out. So I remember my supervisor telling me, because I was still interning at the time, he says, be careful. He says, don't get too close, because if that line, that metal line that they hook up, if that were to snap, it could come and hit you, right? Okay, I'll be careful. I gotta get my photos. So I'm taking photos. He goes, Russ, stay away. Don't get too close. Yeah, okay. And I'm getting closer and taking shots. And he says, what's up with you? He says, I told you, don't get too close. You risk everything to get your photo, don't you? I go, yeah, I guess I do. Yeah, when you're young and you're relatively new at the time, you want to get your photos, you want to get your stuff. But yeah, sometimes you do things and you don't think about it. But as you get older, you have more experience. Things can happen, so you got to be more careful. Of course, my supervisor was a lot older than I was, so he says, "Oh, you got to be careful. You can't just go and do things, because things can happen." It's true, things can happen. I remember flying over the Pacific Ocean in a helicopter. I was doing some work at the district attorney's office at the time. I was an investigative technician for them out there. I had to get some aerial photos of a crime scene, so we did that. We used the San Diego Sheriff's Office's helicopter. So the pilot says to me, he says, "Hey, you want to see something in the Pacific Ocean?" I go, "Yeah, sure." So we flew about a mile out. I don't think he was supposed to do this, but it's so long ago I could probably tell the story. We fly about a mile out into the ocean. He goes, "Look straight down." Sure enough, there's a sunken, I don't know if that's a ship or a sub. I think it was a submarine. He goes, "Most people don't know this thing is out here. There's no way you would know it." There's no way you would know it. I don't know if it's a mile out. It might be less, but it was out there. And you could see it. He says, "Yeah, it's a sunken sub." I go, "What's it doing out there?" He goes, "Well, they just left it out there." I go, "Why don't they pull it back? Because what are they going to do with it?" So he says, "Yeah, most people don't know what's out here, and they probably never will, because you would never know it's there unless you're flying over the top." Yeah, so there you go. Now you know. Yeah, things you get to see working in law enforcement. Yeah, I've had good opportunity to see and do things working either in law enforcement or just being a photographer in general. I recall my photography days, whether it was law enforcement related or something to do with the DA or anything like that. I had a lot of opportunities to go and see things and do things that the average person would never ever get a chance to do. Some things you can't talk about. Other things you could talk about. But I think if I didn't work in that field, for the short time that I was in it, several years, I would have never had those opportunities. And it's kind of fun to be able to look back on that stuff and say, wow, I can't believe I actually did do a lot of stuff. People have said in the past, because I've had a varied work life. I've had a lot of different jobs doing different things, right? Photography and forensic audio work, forensic photography and videography work, and the like. Okay, the guy's letting me through, so we'll take it. I've had opportunities to do things. Besides those things, I've had a number of sales jobs. I've worked in what other stuff? As a retailer with my dad and my brother, selling stereo equipment. I've owned my own photography school, teaching photography. I was a wedding photographer for many years. Now I'm doing YouTube. Yeah, people say, well, you've had a varied career. Yeah, absolutely have. Some people are with the same job for their entire career. Yeah, that's okay, you know. But I think I like what I did, where I was able to do different things and experience different things. You know, a lot of it too goes to credit for Mrs. Wright allowing me to do all that. You know, she's always been the one that's been more consistent than me. But if I didn't have her by my side to let me do these things, I wouldn't have been able to do a lot of the stuff that I did and still continue doing. Yeah. You know, I told her, I says, I don't think I can go back to work, you know, after the pandemic. I says, I don't think anyone would hire me because I have limited skills that people would use unless you were in law enforcement or shooting photography or teaching photography or doing something like that. I don't have anything more I can do. So doing this YouTube channel, it's really just kind of an offshoot of some of those things that I've learned, and I continue to do, and she lets me do it. Not every spouse would allow you to do that, but she allows me to do it. So, of course, she works really hard while I'm doing all this too, and I kind of feel bad about that. Sure, she feels bad about that too. She'd rather be not working, but she is, and that keeps us going too. So all of the things that you guys do by watching the videos, buying your bikes and using the affiliate links, buying your accessories and using the affiliate links, that helps us. It really does. So thank you for that. Thank you guys. Thank Mrs. Wright as well for giving me a lot of opportunities to do things that the average person probably wouldn't have the chance to do. So paying back to you guys, you know, I take you along on these rides as I'm having fun riding around town, and you guys keep me company. Like I said, you know, if I didn't have you guys to talk to, I think my rides would be rather boring. I probably wouldn't be going out as often as I do. I've said that before in the past. You know, I had that Bluetooth speaker that you see in the front of every Russ's Ride video. It was on my Rad Rover 5, my first bike. You see that round circular thing on the handlebars. Yeah, I've only used that a couple of times, and I never used it again. Once I started talking and doing these YouTube videos, I said, hey, I don't really need this thing because it would be in my way if I was talking and the music was running. It would not be something that YouTube would like. YouTube doesn't like you using copyrighted music in the background on videos. So I stopped using it. And I got it just to keep myself company. But yeah, I don't do it anymore. I just talk to you guys while I'm riding. And it's really been the thing that's been keeping me going. I mentioned on the last video, the gift of gab. Yep, I can gab all day long. Can't shut me up. You cannot shut me up. All right. I think this is going to be a tough one to cross unless I hit that button up on the top or unless another car comes. Okay, a car's coming behind us. So that car, I'm going to move up here. That car is going to have to trigger the light for us, or we'll be here at the light forever. So I hope he pulls up. No, he doesn't pull up. I don't know why these cars don't realize that if they don't pull up far enough, they don't set the sensors off. The sensors are in the front, not way back in the back. Okay, there's another car pulling up. It's trying to make a right turn, but I'm in the way. Oh, it's okay. Light's about ready to change. Yeah, but some of these cars don't realize that if they don't move up, we don't move. They gotta move up, but they don't. They want to stay away from you, and they can't see the front of their hood, past the hood of their car. They think they go too far up, they're gonna hit you. No, you won't. No, you won't. And I try to move up. I don't want to get too far up, get hit by cross traffic. Forget that. I'm not gonna do that either. So then we all just stay there and suffer, waiting for the thing to turn. All right, where else are we heading? Yeah, we're just kind of riding and talking, as I usually do. Tell you guys stories. Tell you guys stories. All right, we're gonna cut through here. No trespassing. Yeah, well, we're gonna trespass because the trail's over this way. I don't know why they put, well, I can see why they put those gates up there, but putting down no trespassing is kind of ridiculous. Because this is where the path is. How do you get to the path if you tell people you can't trespass, can't get through? Never did understand that one. Oh, by the way, you might wonder on my display screens, why do we see some fuzziness and stuff on the bottom of these things? Some of my display screens, I've never took off the plastic. I found that sometimes leaving the plastic on allows me to see through with my polarized sunglasses on. You know how I used to do the clear packing tape on a diagonal? I do that on, I think the Deer 20 has that. This one has the original one on here, and so I peeled off a little bit to see if I could see through it, and you cannot with the polarized sunglasses, because it's basically the same display as the Deer 20 has. So I pushed it back down, but of course once you peel it up once, then it doesn't go down perfectly. So if you see these little fuzzy things on the bottom, sometimes it's because I tried to check it. And so I kind of determined now that whenever a new bike comes in, before I take any of that stuff off, I've got to check it with the polarized sunglasses. Now, they might work without it, but I figure if I can see it with it on, with the polarized sunglasses on, I'm just going to leave them. So it kind of protects the display screen so it doesn't scratch up too. So if I ever sell off the bike, the display screen looks cleaner and less scratched, right? So that's why my display screens sometimes don't look maybe as good as your display screens when you buy them. They're not as shiny. It's because I got the piece of plastic still on there. All right, I heard a beep, so I don't know what was that. Nope, it's not the camera. Camera's still running. Let me check my audio recorder. Let me stop here for a second here. I gotta check to see if my audio recorder's still running. Sometimes you hear a beep, it just tells you that, something's up. Nope, still running. So I don't know what the beeping is. Could be somebody outside of me, not just me. Something's causing it to beep or something, but it's not us. All right. So we're on this path. There's nobody out here. Okay, there's one guy in the distance. I can see him. We're heading towards him, but there's nobody else out here. It's kind of emptied. So here we are in the middle of July. Nobody's outside. Nobody's out in this thing playing in the park area. Why is that? Makes you wonder. Too hot? It's not that hot. It's not that hot, but yeah, look here. There's nobody out here. You guys see that? Don't know why. Oh, let me say this about the camera angle. Sometimes the camera's angled. I don't like it when that happens. Kid wanted to play chicken with me. He had a smile on his face as he's aiming himself towards my bike. Guess who would win if we crashed, kid? I don't think it would go too well for him. Of course, I wouldn't do well either if we crashed. All right, let's head out of here. We're at 71% on the battery. This battery was fully charged. I charged it up after the Botanic Garden ride. A lot of the bikes I don't charge up fully, but I charged all three of those batteries up. I used 3 batteries on that ride, so not knowing which ones were fully charged and which ones weren't, I said, yeah, I've got to charge all 3 of them. Had to put one back on the Deer 20. I stole it out of the Deer 20. And then the other one was one that Magicycle gave me before, plus the one that's on the bike. So I brought 3 batteries. I do like the fact that at least those models, the Ocelot Pro, the Deer 20, the Deer 26, they use the same battery. So if you have multiple bikes, you know, within your family and you need to go somewhere, you just steal the battery. If they're not going with you, that is, steal the battery out of the other bike, bring it with you. Okay, here's the kid again. Let's blow him off. Blow him off. There's a car behind us as well. He's probably surprised I'm able to go fairly quickly here. But we're gonna have to get into his lane because we've got a parked car over there. He's gonna make a left anyway. All right, oh, somebody's getting some new aluminum siding, it looks like. Yeah, the Deer does a good job. Yeah, I have a lot of fun riding both the 26 and the 20-inch tire version. So when people ask me, you know, what's your favorite bike, Russ? You know, what do you suggest? Can't really answer that question. I got too many good bikes. I try to find out a little bit more about what the guy is looking for, how tall he is, what's his inseam, you know, how much do you weigh, all that stuff. After I find that type of stuff out, I can give a better suggestion to them. I think we're gonna have to take a left out of here. I don't want to go down this dirty road up ahead. We got road construction up there. So I put my hand out, let them know that we're turning. I'll let that guy go first. So, but there are some bikes that you know are pretty good. This being one of them, Deer 20 being one of them. Ocelot Pro too is pretty good. You know, the thing is, if you don't need the rear suspension, the Ocelot Pro is essentially like a Deer 20. Yeah, I mean it's a 20-inch bike without the rear suspension. That's why I sold the original Ocelot Pro, because I said, well, I already have the Deer 20. What do I need the Ocelot Pro for? Came out with the Ocelot Pro first, right? So I sold it off, and yeah, in a sense, I'm glad I did, because you know they came out with the Ocelot Pro 2.0, which has the switchable torque sensor and cadence sensor switch. Can't do that with this one. The Deers don't have it. I'm still guessing maybe they might upgrade it, but you know, don't hold your breath. They might not. You don't know. Companies do what they do. Sometimes they do things, sometimes they don't. I think the hardest thing though is, you know, making the decision to buy something and then later on, you know, something else comes out and you go, oh, I should have waited. That's true for everything. You just don't know when the upgrade cycle will be, and then you make your best guess and say, okay, out of all the things that are out available today, this is the one I want. You place the order and you order it. Then a week or two later, they have something new. Who's to know, right? This happens to me all the time. You buy something and then you go, oh, I should have waited. Now I got something new. Maybe a month later, 2 months later, whatever. But still, you kind of always think that. Not that what you have is bad, but everyone always wants the newest, latest, and the greatest. But the thing is, if you do the upgrade path all the time, still sniffling. If you do the upgrade path all the time, let's turn here. It's going to cost you a lot of money. And I did a lot of that when I was doing acoustic guitars. I was, I don't know if you know, well, I won't tell you all the story. Maybe it's best not to mention, but I went through a lot of acoustic guitars, probably about 40, just kind of like my bikes, yeah. It's just like my bikes. Actually, it's kind of funny. It is about like my bikes. My bikes, I went through about 40 of them so far too. But yeah, I was buying and selling and buying and selling and trading this for that. You know, not trading, but you know, buying and selling it off. I always bought a used one to try it out. If I liked it, I kept it. If I didn't like it, I'd get rid of it. But it made me aware of what the different models of acoustic guitars were able to do and not do. But you can't always do the upgrade path. It costs you a lot of money if you do that. And so ultimately, I kind of said, okay, this is the guitar I'm just going to stick with, and that's the guitar I currently use. And so for acoustic guitars, that would be the McPherson MG 6-string. Yeah, look it up. You want to see what kind of guitar I play for acoustics, that is. I play electric as well. So at church I play the electric, the acoustic, and also the piano, or I should say keyboards, because it has different sounds on it. But at church typically they set that keyboard up to play piano sounds out of it. But yeah, the McPherson MG model. Look it up. Then check the price on it. Yeah, there's a section for inventory. Just take a look at the prices of those guitars, you know, and you might be shocked. Yeah, current McPhersons are closing in on about $10,000 now, I think, to start. Yeah, to start. Yeah, I didn't pay that much money for it. I still paid a lot of money, but yeah, they're in about the $10,000 ranges now to start. But the thing is that if you're knowledgeable of that type of product and you've tried all these different guitars, you can appreciate when one is better than the other and what makes it better than the other. It's kind of the same thing with these e-bikes, right? People say, well, you know, you've tried a lot of different bikes, different brands, different models. You know, you might have more knowledge than we do when it comes to bikes. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But I haven't tried everything. There's a lot of other bikes out there that I haven't tried. And a lot of times people ask me, hey, Russ, have you tried this? No. You think you'll get one of these for review? No. Yeah, usually I don't go asking for bikes. I just kind of wait for manufacturers to come to me. I mean, you know, in time, maybe that'll change. Maybe nobody will give me stuff anymore, and I'll have to ask for bikes, you know, to review them. But right now, I don't. I just wait for them to come to me. But I did ask Magicycle recently if I was getting the new bike that's coming out. That one I did ask. I didn't feel bad about asking for that one because I've had such a long relationship with Magicycle for the last 3.5 years, something like that. I don't know. It's been a long time, and they've given me every bike they've ever made. So I saw this thing up on their website, and I saw the video that came out on the Magicycle video site, the YouTube site. They did an instructional video how to put it together. I go, what is this bike? I didn't even know it existed. What, are they selling this already? So I had to find out, right? So I sent an email to my contact at Magicycle. I said, what's up with this bike? Am I getting one of these? And he sent back an email to me. He says, you absolutely will be getting one. You're on the top of our list to send it to you. Apparently they just put it out there before the bike even came out. I always wonder about that. I don't know the strategy behind all this stuff. But I kind of wondered, why would you show the product before it even hits the market? I guess they want some momentum of excitement first before it actually makes it here. But apparently it's coming, right? So as soon as it lands here in the U.S., then I will be getting a review sample for you to see what it is and for me to try out. But you can see it now if you wanted to see it. Just go to the Magicycle cycle, you'll see it. It's their new commuter style bike. So, but here's the thing: if you see it, you like it, sit tight, wait for my affiliate link, okay? Because hopefully, maybe they'll give us something to save you some money. And it helps me when you use that affiliate link. That's the thing that I do beg for. I may not go begging for bikes to review, but I do ask you guys to please buy it through my link. I don't feel bad about that at all, because that's what helps support me and keeps me going. And without your support, it would be really difficult for me to continue doing these things. But I'll tell you this, I would probably still be doing these things. Yeah, because I'd be out there riding my bike regardless. It just wouldn't be as much fun. I mean, if I didn't have this YouTube channel to make these videos for you guys, it wouldn't be as much fun. It wouldn't be for me. It's what keeps me going out all the time, knowing that I have guys waiting to see what I have to say next or show next, and then keep going and keep riding. I will say that I've been a little bit not doing the pedaling as much as I should lately. I've been kind of throttling. I'll pedal a little bit. Going back into my old habit of just throttling through for the videos and then pedaling on the way back. And the thing is, with these cadence sensor bikes, you don't have to pedal hard and keep moving. If your pedal assist is set for a certain level, right now I'm pedal assist level 6 out of 9. I reprogrammed this, as you know, to certain levels. For a assist level of 9, my version of 6 might not be yours as 6, because I changed the percentage levels. But I don't have to pedal hard, and it's moving pretty good. It's doing 20.8 miles an hour right now. But it keeps my legs moving. That's really all I wanted it to do in the first place. Keep my knees moving, right? But as I mentioned before in a previous video, looking at the advanced setting of the Ocelot Pro 2.0, I noticed that the percentage levels were exactly the same as the ones I had programmed. That was a pleasant surprise. Yeah, so I think Magicycle has adopted some of the levels based on how I ride, thinking that, well, if Russ is riding like that, maybe other people would like it too. So they pre-programmed their stuff that way. I didn't change it by much. You know, percentage here, percentage there, but I did change it. So if you get an Ocelot Pro 2.0, take a look at the 1 through 9 setting in the advanced settings. And you can do that easily, because I have a video about how to program your magicycle display screens. Yeah, we better turn here. Alrighty, I think we're done for today. I've ridden quite a bit today. Hey, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Appreciate all you guys watching the videos and keeping me going. I'll talk to you guys next time.